10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's the Player's Perspective. Come on in. This is the best Yellow Jacket sports talk in the nation with your boy T. Cove and my man over here to my right, my man K. Solo.
What's going on, fella?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good.
Man,
good.
I'm just anxious to get going, man. I mean, all this laying and we don't have to come to our folks a day later. Then we gotta start a little later, but
Yeah.
It's time to get this thing going, brother.
Yeah, it's time to get it on the road, get the show on the road, and get going. It's March Madness out here, and we're trying to make sure that we are, all inclusive with everything. And,
there you go.
Trying to do some good stuff, and I tell you what, man.
What's up?
It's March Madness, and I'm mad.
And you're mad? Oh no, what's up with that?
I'm upset.
What's going on?
Because when I looked at my bracket, man,
it's already busted.
It's not that it's already busted. I didn't see my team on the bracket.
Man, tell me about it. Now hold on now. There's like 90. No. Let's see. Yeah, there's like 96 teams between the NCAA and the NIT. So you checked the NCAA.
Yeah, I checked that one.
You checked that one too.
I checked that one too.
And then you checked the NIT.
And the NIT.
So what happened on the NIT? Because, we got to be on there on the NIT. Was your team in there too?
My team not in there either.
What?
No.
Come on, brother. Come on now.
My team's not in there.
Now, you're not talking about the LGT, are you?
I am talking about the GT that I represent, the one that I love.
Hold on, man. I thought I saw a name somewhere in there. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, that says 2017.
2017?
Yeah, that was 2017.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ken, what's up with that, man?
That's all I can say. I'm kind of torn between, and I have a question for all of our fans. Thank everybody for joining in with us, and
absolutely,
and all that good stuff. But we do have questions for you.
Yeah,
we are at our new digs, our new facilities.
Tell them about it, Ken. Tell them about it.
Seven Springs Studio right here in the beautiful Powder Springs.
That's right,
Georgia.
With our engineer, Kim Jackson, behind the board.
Mr. Kim Jackson behind the board doing his thing.
Yes, sir.
Making magic happen.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so, we kind of trying to do something a little different for 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my jacket basketball to do a little something different.
You just want your jacket basketball back.
I want it back. And
baby, come back. Please put it back on me. We were strong in 1990. What's up with that, dog? Come on, man. Can we get this right?
I'll tell you what, man. It's been crazy to kind of watch the program just be on this 15 to almost 20-year slide.
Yeah.
Where we have seen it. We were there when it was successful and when everything was going on and when all the stuff that was happening was good, great, and and everybody was loving Georgia Tech basketball.
Right.
It was a reason to tune in. It was a reason to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I remember growing up watching Dwayne Farrell and those guys play, Yvonne Josephs, Mark Price,
John Sally,
and all those guys. They were must-see TV.
They sure was, brother.
And so from a little kid from Toccoa, Georgia, whose cousin was already involved with Georgia Tech and came to Georgia Tech,
right?
It was still exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And, being at my high school or being in wherever or playing ball, you wanted to be and you wanted to emulate the guys that you were seeing on that college level. So, that was one of those things where, it's one of those things right now where I have to question and I have to ask the question, and you feel free, you out there on Facebook, if you're looking at us right now, feel free to chime in. I want to ask this question of you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Is Georgia Tech basketball dead? And that's I know that's a real hard line stance to take from guys that love the Institute, from guys that love what we represent. But is it dead? Should we move on from thinking that it's going to resuscitate and come back and be a viable option for us, or should we just move on and forget about it and just be all football and not worry about basketball anymore?
That's my answer, Ken. We have yet to flatline.
Okay.
But, brother, we are close.
Yes.
And I say that because it's too much going on in the wrong direction. Right. It's just too much going on that's not righting the ship.
Right.
We have a whole entire series where our problem this year was shooting. Ken, I think if I was looking at the numbers correctly, just scoring, 5 more points this year could have put us in another bracket.
Right.
Averaging is what I'm saying.
Right.
We played. What we showed was that we were doing well on defense. So hey, kudos to coach so far as coaching us up for defense, doing a great job with that. That caused a lot of teams problems this year, and it kept us in games. But the problem was on the offensive side of shooting. We've talked about this on the football side.
Right.
How do you throw so well in college and then get to college and you can't throw?
Oh, you're saying in high school?
In high school,
yeah,
and you can't throw. Now you shoot the daylights out of stuff in high school and you get to college and you can't shoot. Right. It's one of those challenges that we often see that is it's mind-boggling. It's something that you just don't understand, but you also see in this scenario a lot of excuses popped up.
Right.
Okay, with Josh Okogie going pro. Okay, so we heard it throughout the entire season, basically, because we didn't know he was leaving, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So just coming at it from a player's perspective, which means that right here you're going to get it straight, you're going to get it real. You can't have a successful program where one person leaves and then you basically just want to shut it all down.
Right, exactly.
You just can't have a program where the next guy up hasn't been sitting there biting at the bit, ready to go in there and shine.
Right.
Because he, and the only reason why he couldn't is because Okogie was in front of him, right? So now that he's gone, he should have been happy, ready to go. Let's get in there and make this thing happen. But there's a lot of things so far as the communication. We've heard Coach Passner talking on his show and everything else and giving all this terminology about the stops and the different things that we want to go. But we're just talking about hitting and shooting the ball and letting it go through the hoop.
Right.
And that was the biggest challenge that we had this year.
Right. And I see some people with questions. My good friend Anthony Neal writes in and he says, it's tough. It'll be tough to recover or come back in a conference as tough as the ACC.
Oh, wow.
And that's a very true statement because we are right on the cusp of, being at the bottom every year.
The ACC was struggling for a little bit as a decline because you started to see the SEC start to come up in the Big Ten.
Right.
But now what you're seeing is that it's starting to surge ahead.
But it's still surging ahead with the two mainstays that's always been there with Duke and North Carolina.
Right.
And you've added Virginia and Virginia Tech, and you see Florida State has been good.
Right.
For a little while now. So that's a problem.
It is a problem.
It is a problem from a Georgia Tech's perspective. Because you asked a question, and there was another question asked. I forget who it was. Miss Colleen Campbell asked the question: are we just missing one good ball player?
No.
Are we just missing one guy, one marquee guy?
No.
And I would say we have not got that marquee guy in our system at all. And Okogie was a great find and a great ball player.
Right.
And but he was not necessarily the marquee guy.
Right.
He was good for Georgia Tech, and he was good he meant a lot to us, but he was not necessarily that game changer or that marquee guy that's going to carry a program or going to do the things that are necessary. And, and that's been my whole problem, Tommy.
Yeah.
With the whole situation recruiting-wise.
Exactly.
As much talent as we see around the country, in other colleges,
right,
that are not Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
Where the talent is coming from this great state.
Exactly.
So you see that happening, and it's kind of frustrating.
Well, I mean, if you're 24 years young, 24 years old and younger, you know a little bit about the Kenny Andersons,
right,
the Dennis Scotts, that kind of thing. You know the little history that's going on over there, the Carl Browns. You got a chance to see the Marburys and all that kind of stuff happening over here in the ATL. So at one time, we were kind of point guard you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mark Price going back in those days, okay, seeing that kind of stuff happening. Jared Jack. Okay. So to think that we struggle now to get a point guard.
Yes.
Is unfathomable. To think now, okay, you're looking at people, Lammers just left us, okay, and great big guy down there. But, of course, a little bit more height with him would have been perfect. But you got Banks that's coming in, is proven to be a great defensive guy.
Right.
But not that big on scoring. He's come on late in the second half and doing some good job. But you need a force down there.
Right, exactly.
Both on offense and defense, okay? So right now, the way it looks, I mean, even with some of the guys that have really stepped up, DeVoe did a great job coming out in the middle of the season. Because I think even we can go back to one of our previous shows, Ken, it looked like for a lot of the young guys, they were afraid to shoot. Yeah. They were afraid to be a little assertive on the offensive side. So they came along a little bit. So it's kind of like, okay, that's hopeful going into the future that these may be some guys that step up in the next couple of years. But you really need about 2 or 3 guys. You're going to need about 2 or 3 good players right now.
Right.
Because you need those players to be scorers on. If you're watching March Madness right now, that's pretty much the MO for every team that you're looking out there. You got about 2 or 3 good guys out of those 5 that are productive, okay, on that offensive side of the ball. Right now, I would say with Tech is that we just don't have that right now, and we got to get something that's going to have to jump off because both with a big man down low, a good point guard that can show productivity day in and day out on the court, and then a good 2. And a good 3, somebody over there that can shoot that rock.
Right.
I mean, good Lord.
Tommy, you just named the whole squad.
I did. But that's kind of what you see.
You're right.
Because now we shot a lot of 3-pointers this year. And they want us to be 3-pointers. That's what I heard. They wanted us to be a 3-point percentage, high percentage type team. But we didn't have any shooters.
Yeah, right, yeah. And Tommy, it's hard. We're not bashing Georgia Tech. We're not bashing the basketball team. We're just having an honest conversation.
We are vested. This is family. This
is how we talk.
Ain't nobody gonna love my Jackets more than you. Talk bad about them, and you ain't a Georgia Tech, I'm gonna fight you.
Right.
But it's one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
And we have to have that honest, real conversation with ourselves.
And it's postseason.
Right. Exactly. It's
postseason now,
and we're not in it.
And we're not in it.
And we're not even the third best team. We might be the 4th or 5th best team in our state.
Yeah. Now that's down.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where you got to kind of,
That's where you got, when I look at what Georgia State is doing, and kudos to them, kudos to Coach Ron Hunter. Mm-hmm. I know that there was opportunity for us to get Ron Hunter before we hired Coach Passner.
Yep.
And, he's a guy that I've always liked his energy, always liked to see him on the sideline. Always like to hear his interviews.
Yeah,
he's just full of energy.
Yeah,
and his energy seems to be very, very focused and directed into his young people. It's one thing to be energetic.
It is,
and you got to have energy. You got to have that kind of vibe with young people to really to draw them in.
You do,
but you just can't be frenetic and all over the place with energy.
Well, that's the thing, Ken, and you and I have heard that all the time. You can't just talk the talk; you got to walk the walk.
You got to walk the walk. And
so, what we are not even seeing is we don't have anybody in the queue. Who's in the queue?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To be picked next to say he's going to be the next Georgia Tech person. We see it going on all the time in the football aspect of things, see it going on in the baseball arena of what's happening out there. Matter of fact, if you kind of look across the board in tennis and softball and everything else, those that are next big time players are on the dock.
Right.
And then they're going after them and getting them. I don't even see anybody on the radar.
Yeah, and that's the disheartening thing about it. Hopefully the energy that has been created with this football season, off season, can drift over into the basketball arena and can cause some stirring to take about.
It's going to have
because
to, Ken.
I think we have to change our outlook about how we recruit.
Yes,
and what type of athlete we're recruiting and all that good stuff, and not be afraid to go after that guy.
Yeah,
you know, and that's one thing. I know we always get back to football, but that's one thing that we see about Coach Collins at this moment. He came in with a purpose plan, and he is executing it to the hilt.
Right.
With what his vision was, how he wanted to rebrand Georgia Tech. His thought about the athlete that could come to Georgia Tech. Right. That all are welcome. All can come. Anybody can get here. That can get here. Yeah. And so he is that guy that has a central message, and you can tell his message is being disseminated. Number one, from his staff. Right. Down to his ball players, right, and it is coming out to us through the media.
That's right.
And we have a feeling that we almost know from on a day-to-day basis. No, I'm not at Georgia Tech every day, but I feel like the positivity that is coming, that is radiating from North Avenue at this moment, is been none like we've seen before.
It's a glow in the dark.
There you go.
That's for sure. You turn out all the lights over there, and then right now, over that football stadium over there, Bobby Dodd, it's a glow in the dark. Yeah. Now, Bobby Dodd, now just real quick out there, Bobby Dodd Jr. passed away. Oh. Yeah, so we want to give our condolences to the family, right. Absolutely, for that. And it's going to be sorely missed. And, of course, if you're talking about legendary, right, legacy going on there. There you go. But we're just sorry to hear about that, and check on either your Twitter or on ramblingrec.com for details. I know they're not going to have a funeral, right? But they asked for contributions to go to the Bobby Dodd Institute. Okay. So, but we just want to take a moment out for that. But getting back to to football, to basketball, and to me, it could be like you said, now you got to have a shift in the way that you go about things. Right. What you used to say, it hasn't worked. You got to change what you say. Right. What you used to market, it doesn't really quite work. You got to change your marketing. So there's going to be some things that they're going to have to fuse and to tap into for what's happening now on the flats to transfer that to Crimmins Court. Right. And with. It's just amazing when you just say these things, you know what I'm saying? Coach Crimmins, and you just downtown Atlanta. And how is it that we're not hot? How is it that we don't have a squad? I just don't understand this.
That was one of the main reasons I loved being at Georgia Tech during the time we were at Georgia Tech. I was sitting in the arena, in the Thriller Dome, the night Dennis Scott stole the ball in the corner against North Carolina. Yeah. And the whole building went in an animated suspension as the ball left his fingers, and it was nothing but butter when it went through.
Man, fast break. Give it to Dennis at half court. 3 steps later, he letting it go. Nobody in front of him. He's letting it go, brother, and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Yeah, and that's stuff that's stuff of legend that we know about, exactly. That we lived and were right absolutely. There. Saw Bobby Hurley get worked out. Kenny Anderson worked him.
That's all you heard.
That's it. Come on. And it was just one of those things that we want that to return. We want that type of fire to return, that type of athlete to return back to the flats. Because quiet as it kept, it was not a football school when I came.
No, it wasn't.
When we came.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a football school. The basketball team ruled the roost of the campus.
Absolutely.
And that was what it was. But things have changed, and we want it to, not that we want football to take a back seat or anything like that, because it's not. But we want basketball to return back to what it was, and and we want to be a part of that. So,
Well, Kenny, I mean, Lord have mercy. Well, basically, what you're looking at right now is a scenario that everybody that's on the team right now, this whole roster, okay, and I'm going to go through, Michael DeVoe, James Banks, okay, Shambari Phillips, okay, Mr. Cole, Mr. Alston, okay, Mr. Alvarado, okay, Mr. Moore, Haywood, Mr. Moses Wright, okay. They got to become awesome recruiters.
That's it.
They have to become awesome recruiters.
Yeah, but Tommy, it's hard, and we've been through this. When you're losing,
yes,
it's hard to maintain that focus, and you want to look at a recruit in the eye and not lie to him.
That's right.
Because you can tell a guy to come to a place to make it better.
Yeah,
and that's not lying to him.
That's right.
That's not lying to him at all. So because we need your help.
We need you here.
We need you here.
That's right.
And I remember, that first season when Coach Ross was here, and you guys had went 2-9, 2-9 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Came back. My freshman year, we went 3-8.
Right.
And quiet as it kept, I called my mama. I think I told this story before.
Oh yeah. But tell it again though.
I called my mama and said, "Hey, mama,
yeah.
Look.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. I can't do this. I'm not used to losing like this. I want to go to Alabama. Alabama was recruiting me hard, and it was a real close decision. I said, man, I want to go to Alabama. I'm just gonna call Coach Curry and tell him I want to come. She said, son, you're not doing that. Not in this lifetime. You gave these people your word that you're going to do this and you were going to do that. And I started looking in the mirror. I was like, Mama, you know what? You're right.
You're right.
She was like, well, you there, and if you such a winner, if you say you all that you say you are,
shout outs to Mom Swilling. That's right.
All that you think you are, then it should be infectious.
That's right.
When it should become second nature to you guys. And luckily, thankfully, prayerfully, it did.
It did. Because it was some tough times there. Ooh. But I tell you what, too, it galvanized us a little bit. Yeah. Because at the same time, when you looked at all of that was going on, you saw where the negative was. You saw the cancer, and all we did was start scraping that stuff away. Just start scraping it away. Right. And we started infusing that positivity, that mental attitude that we needed to get out there and become winners.
And that's the thing, Tommy, trying not to be negative during this time.
Right. That's right.
That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Probably it is. To not to be negative when negative stuff is happening.
There's negative stuff is happening. That's right. That's right. Because coming from a player's perspective, we're going to be real with each other.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of times we're going to say things that are going to make us want to fight. It's going to make us want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what brings us together. Eventually what brings us together, we fight out there in the afternoon, and at nighttime, we sitting there playing video games together.
Right, exactly.
Or sharing a meal together.
Right.
We just, it's bygones, big bygones. Well, this is that tough talk, that tough love.
Right.
That's all we're giving them right now from a player's perspective, right here at Seven Springs Stadium. Right here in the stadium with Seven Springs Studio. That's right. We're gonna bring it to them. We're gonna bring it to them live and correct, Ken. And so right now, if you're mad at us, good, because that's nothing but love that we're sending out to y'all.
Right.
Because we need you to step up next year. We need you to get better. We need y'all to start putting the ball in the hoop and start doing some things on defense like you did this year, but even better. Because we got to turn this thing around down there. I mean, it's a McCamish Stadium. Pavilion down there, okay? Right. I want to call everything a stadium today, but McCamish Pavilion, beautiful setting.
Right.
Beautiful renovations that went on down there. And shout out to Draper and Associates, my former employers. They actually were project managers on that. But you look at all of the results that are going on, the beautiful setting, and everything is set up for them.
Right.
So now we just got to get the players. And then people in Atlanta, they love basketball.
They love basketball and are clamoring for Georgia Tech to be something.
Because they just want to walk across the street and go into a game. Right. You know what I'm saying? That Midtown is just bustling, and they want to do that. And you can even hear them on different radio stations, everything else. They miss it.
Right.
They miss it. And so we just have to bring that back over there. And so I think it starts, like I said, these guys got to become awesome recruiters.
Right.
Pastner's got to start speaking the language, because that's something else we were talking about off radio, is that, is what he's speaking, are people hearing? That's the question.
I mean, and that's a very valid, very honest question.
Yeah.
Is the message lost?
Right.
Has he begun to just ramble?
Yeah.
Because we both been in places and been in a locker room,
right,
and a coach is talking,
yeah,
and you're like, well, I'm having dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear you, but I ain't listening.
I'm not. I hear you talking, but I'm not listening to you.
Right.
I'm not, and it's hard when you're losing.
And when you're losing, yeah,
and it's just the little things, the little attention to detail that can cause you not to win a ball game.
Yeah,
or the little things that can go missing.
Right.
And I'm a Coach Pastner fan. I like him. I like his energy. I like everything that he brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to question it. Is the message getting through?
That's
is the
right.
Message getting home? Is it? Are we at a point where we are? Dare I say, at a time when we need another change?
Right. Well, there was something in the Athletic today, and they were talking about how we've been mired with this bad news and different things going on.
Right,
so Coach Pastner's dealing with an ex friend that has got some problems going on and stuff like that. Now it doesn't come back on him right now. You don't see any of that stuff having any backlash except for the negative press.
Right.
We've had the stuff going on with the suspensions last year.
Right.
Okay, and you've got some stuff even before then. The accusations and stuff like that popped up against Pastner. Knowing the guy, we sat down and talked to this guy and everything else, and we know that he's got some history. He's got some. He's part of a basketball legacy, and he knows what's going on, and he can coach. He just had some great stuff going on over there in Memphis.
Right.
He now has to, I think, just kind of reassess the way that he's going to attack this thing.
Right.
He may have to sit down in a room. Okay, and talk to some people that be maybe Coach Collins, Todd, and I'm sure these conversations are going on.
Right.
But this is just going to have to be to push that reset button and say, what I'm saying, is that the word I need to be saying?
Right.
If what I'm doing needs to be doing, how are we supposed to set this up? Maybe we need to reorganize this thing because it has to change now.
Right.
Because if nothing changes in the off season right now for Pastner, another year like this, and then he's definitely gone.
Right.
And just saying that, I like the guy, I like his energy, I like his youth. So just to give him that rah-rah speech for now, because I want you to stay around, that kind of thing, that's what's going to happen. Because otherwise, we're going to have to go and find out if we can get somebody else better in here next year.
Well, yeah. Well, we had an opportunity to get somebody I thought that might have been more maybe not a better coach, but I thought he was a better person. Might have been a better person for the job.
Yeah.
Because when Ron Hunter was up,
yeah,
and they did call him and they did talk to him.
Yeah.
But we didn't pull the trigger. And we see now that what he's done over at
Georgia State.
Now that's to say, I don't know what he would do at Georgia Tech. I don't know what he would do at any other institution that's a little bit bigger. But I would like to think that this guy is a recruiter, and can recruit athletes because it seems like his guys really like playing for him.
Well,
really
you
like
got that
playing
right.
for him. Yeah, you can just tell that he kind of is that guy that, he's a player's kind of coach. A guy that you glean from, you listen to him, and you respect him. He's gonna be tough on you when he needs to.
Right.
He's gonna grab you and hug you when he needs to grab you and hug you, and then and there gonna be some moments of when you don't know if he really like you or not.
Exactly. Oh well, exactly.
Well,
you got that right.
And I think that's what players want coaches kind of like that.
Yeah.
That we need coaches like that.
Well, you have to
in our lives because you have to have that guy that's gonna keep you on the straight and narrow and keep you kind of focused on the task at hand and keep you into that engaged into that moment,
right?
And not let you get away with crazy foolishness when it's necessary.
Well, like you say, rising tides lifts all ships.
Yes, sir.
And right now we need to see something happen right there. A lot of great stuff going on with some of what they call non-revenue sports.
Yeah.
And it looks like that they're holding up their end of the bargain and doing some things out there. The men's tennis team quickly is going into Virginia, invading in Virginia this weekend.
Okay.
And they're looking at knocking off the Virginia Cavaliers and the Yoki Hokies over there. Two teams that play well in tennis. doing some things. So to come out with a couple of matches underneath their belt this weekend, Ken, is going to do a world of a difference for our Yellow Jackets, who are currently ranked 44th, in the country, and that's the first time they've been ranked this year.
Okay, well, that's good news to hear.
Absolutely,
real good news to hear.
So you spread that kind of stuff around. Those Yellow Jackets on the softball diamond, down over there.
They've been just running people off the
those bats are hot. Them bats are hot right now. So shout out to the Lady Jackets over there, knocking it down at the Mewborn Stadium complex over there. That I also had the privilege of working on when I was working with Draper and Associates. Shout out to Draper Associates again.
Are they going to come on and be a sponsor of the show, Tom?
Well, you know what? You never know. You never know what's going on out there, Ken. But but a great facility out there. But those Yellow Jackets are putting it on them. I mean, all I look at now is that they only have to play 5 innings because they're winning by domination.
Right.
Okay, so that's something that you're excited about for them over there. So shout out to the Lady Jackets over there and doing a great job there. And then, we're talking to a couple of people out there right now that are going to probably come on now and start doing some reviews for basketball and also for track.
Right.
So y'all stay tuned for some announcements down the road for that. But it's you can see some stuff going on where you know how it is in the athletic association. There's got to be some positive vibes going on,
right?
And you can't help but get excited to look at these competition videos and things that are going on with football. That you want that same thing for you. And on the baseball diamond, I think they're just on the cusp. I think they're going to be really good this year. And they got a chance to play some really good teams up front that are testing their mettle and giving them a barometer or setting that bar for them.
Right.
And I think it's going to pay off dividends for them later on in this season. But just winning, iron sharpens iron. Winning helps. Winning can become an epidemic.
Yes,
it can be very contagious. So what we're looking at is for something to feed off of. Okay. Going forward. So it starts with the football team about to embark on another spring football.
Right, there you go.
They're on break this week.
Yes.
And they're getting a rest and they're getting ready to go and they're excited. But spring ball starts on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
So you got to be excited about that. And I know everybody is excited just to see what's going to happen after that.
Right.
To see what's going on. So basketball, get your rest. Take a break, get out there, but be ready to come back and get some and start winning, both in the recruiting and also on the court.
There you go.
And getting better out there and all that kind of stuff. What else we going to talk about today?
Well, since we segued into football a little bit, I want everybody to remember on the 30th.
Yep.
That would be the
Saturday, week from Saturday.
Saturday, a week from Saturday.
Yes, sir.
The 30th at 9:00 a.m. Will be Legends of the Flats Day.
Yep.
And we want all the former players that have not registered. You still got a little time. You got until tomorrow.
That's right.
To actually get your letter and register and reserve your spot and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing a lot of guys out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And just some of the people that we talked to, man, it's just really going to be good just to see their faces again, man, and give them a big hug, a high five. Still trying to reach out to some guys that we're all spread out, and that's a Georgia Tech way. We're global, so we get out there and we got people all the way up north, all the way out west, and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's a big deal, coming from Cascade, Southwest Atlanta, to go to the Flats. You know what I'm saying? So it's even a bigger deal for them to come from Texas and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to all of my boys out there. But if you can make it happen, come on. Y'all making big money. Come on. Just get on that flight and come on back into Atlanta and buy me breakfast.
And tell me, I don't think I've ever felt this much excitement around our program. I don't think ever. Maybe since we were there and actually engaged in it and doing some stuff. Now, there were moments of excitement when Joe Ham was getting ready making his run for the Heisman and all that good stuff.
Right.
There were moments that, when you look back and you had that real proud moment on your chest kind of swelled up a little bit. There were moments, but I don't know why this feels so different. I don't know why I'm excited about spring practice. As a player, I was never really excited about spring practice,
right.
But going into this season, I'm more excited about it probably than some of the players are, because I really want to see what's going to happen.
Well, it's a Christmas feel because it's so many possibilities that are about to pop off. Okay, so you're looking at a new coach, a new program, a new offense, a new defense, a attitude that has been infectious over this offseason that you just, everybody like Game of Thrones, and he going to throw it out there like winter's coming. Okay, it's you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now, and it's 2019, April 19th, Game of Thrones comes back.
No,
so
it's April 14th, bro.
Is it the 14th?
It's the 14th.
I thought I saw the 19th.
No, it's the 14th. I know now.
Okay, well, good. But you just, you're already into that mode, but you got now these guys coming out there, and then you're looking at some of these guys, man, that maybe be able to stretch their legs a little bit, go out there and do some things different, and they're excited about it. And it's the newness. It's just the newness of things going on. It's that new toy feel that you got going on. And then of course, Coach did a big thing by saying, open practices, different things like that.
Right.
So we got to get a little more detail on that because people just want to be around this stuff.
Right.
You want to be able to reach out and touch this thing.
Right.
And then the new coaches and everything coming back, you just everything that you kind of spoke to over the last 10 years or more, really, ever since we've been gone.
Right.
You've been looking for this type of combination of events to come together to finally mesh to help this program get back on track.
And that's the thing that I think we talk about, the confluence of things that having to come together.
Right. That's right.
And with like I said, with the coaching staff, with the right players, with all of those things, with the fans.
Yeah.
With the interaction even from former players.
Yeah.
To be able to come back and feel like they're at home again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, exactly.
All that means a whole lot.
It does.
From a fan perspective, it might not mean a lot.
Yeah.
But from a former player that played there, it feels good to go back to a place where you've been and people say, "Oh man, I'm glad you're here."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Not ducking and dodging, not barely looking at you, or not not who what?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have time for you or whatever, or we're not open to any of those things, or we want to be secretive about what's going on.
Right.
You would have thought we were developing some kind of weapon.
Right.
To destroy and take over the world. But it didn't that wasn't going on. So what Coach Collins has done is come in and really opened up the situation to be a lot more flexible, for things to come along. I look at even the institution of the Waffle House Wednesdays.
Yes.
Yep.
That
stuff. It.
But you also,
is it going to win you a ball game? No.
but in a way, it's an intangible.
Right. It is.
You see what I'm saying? So therefore, if you actually put those together, it might win us a ball game because the right play at the right time or the right parent looking at what's going on, the feeling you get about what's going on may change your decision about coming to a place like this and being a part of that. Look at Roddy Jones coming back and hosting that type of thing, right? So it's all about players and people coming back, the association, the family, the development of it all. Right. And you're getting excited, and people are sitting down, and then you're just hearing stories. Brent Key was the last one, just talking about his time on the flats and the different things that were going on, and playing with Joe Ham, and all these things that are happening out there. This is stuff that people have not heard, Ken.
Right, exactly.
And these are the links, like we talk about, that solidify your journey in becoming a successful football program. Right. You just can't ignore that stuff.
Right.
You got to solidify those things. You got to galvanize those things. You got to build it up because they say that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Right.
Well, it's a really strong chain if it doesn't have a weak link.
Right, exactly.
And that's what we're doing, is just trying to develop that to where there's no weaknesses.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's all positives, okay?
Right.
And that's what it is, and that's what it means to come to Georgia Tech
Right.
to make that happen, because it's vital to the success for what we have. But that goal got to be spread.
Exactly. And you were just talking about it, the look behind the veil.
Yes.
And being able to see.
Yes.
And to peer into.
Yes.
These people are really human.
That's right.
It's really real.
That's right.
It's not some mystical thing that is happening.
Right.
They're just like me.
Right.
They're just like you.
Right.
If they can do it, I can do it as well. Right. So that lens, what you're talking about when you talk about a parent looking in or a kid looking in and seeing the Waffle House Wednesdays, hearing a story about a guy in Brent Key, or I'm sure Marco's going to do one, and Tashar did his, and all that good stuff. So those things really, give it gravity.
They do.
And it gives it a real sense of, oh man, I can do this.
Yes.
I can be there. I can obtain this.
Strong footing, a strong foundation is what we're looking at for that, and that's something that Tech has not had. We've been slipping and sliding around a little bit.
Right.
And then just the energy. I mean, people are excited to see a player's perspective come on weekly.
Right.
They're excited to see articles that are written up on their yellow jackets.
Right.
That you see writers that are excited and
right.
just can't wait to see or hear what the next best thing is about to happen at the flats.
Right.
So, they're writing on stuff right now, even the article going into spring, what they're going to expect and everything else. And really to surmise it is that they don't know, but they're excited to see whatever it is.
What the possibilities could be.
It's going to be. And I'm excited about that too. Look at that. We got Manimal on here, Big Steve Farr, checking in with us. What's up, brother? Good to see you, my man. Always good to see you, man.
We look forward to seeing you Saturday. Just don't hit nobody when you get down here.
Oh, my God. I think Steve, he's still out there hitting them, though. He hitting them on the real estate side.
Man, let me tell you something. He hit LeVon Kirkland so hard. Oh, my goodness.
He's still waking up out of his sleep.
He still got to be shaking a little bit, man.
Where did he come from?
LeVon, if you listen, man, I'm sorry, man. But,
Oh boy, but I'm telling you, I mean, so many memories, and that's what's so cool about getting back. I got a call from old Dale Burley saying, "Tomcat, what's up, Tomcat?" So, what's up, Burley? Man, good to see you, man. Yeah, he excited. He just wants to know what's going on. What we gonna do? How we gonna do that? So, and I think Ken, we were talking about maybe doing something to bring everybody together before. And I know that they have something before us after.
They got something planned afterwards.
Yeah.
Which will be a little barbecue session or whatever.
Right.
So that'll be a good time to slap hands, meet and greet, sit down and break bread with everybody. Before, I think we talked about doing breakfast, but that's going to be kind of early.
Kind of early.
Yeah. But
some early rises every now and then.
Yeah, every now and again. I'm not worried about me.
Right.
I'm not worried about me.
Right.
I'm worried about my cohort. I'm worried about Tommy.
Because a brother don't get no sleep, brother. I'm telling you. Oh, my gosh. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. My wife was just fussing just now because she was tired, man. She was like, and the little kids running around and stuff, they just won't let you sleep. But shout out to my queen out there. Absolutely. Love you. And all of my little princesses out there. So, but yo, I'm looking forward to it, Ken. Just to be there, just to be around it, just to start something, just to be there and just reach out to them ball players and let them know that, hey, we're here for you.
Right.
And we're ready to back you up and looking excited for you to come in. So you were talking about, too, something that was exciting for one of the players right now that had an awesome season last year, Wanye Thomas.
Yes, Wanye Thomas.
Okay.
Yes.
And so actually, I guess it's the first time where you can lose 27 points or 27 positions or 27 numbers and still be happy about it.
And still be happy and be number one.
And be number one. Absolutely.
There you go.
So he's changing what? He's changing his number?
He's changing the number.
What?
Hey, the number one is now Quay Cersei Award the last 3 or 4 years.
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they want to see your face, man.
I'm sorry. But,
that's okay.
But Quay Ward well.
Yes.
But now Wanye has decided that he will wear number 1, getting back to his roots. I think he wore number 1 in high school.
Yeah.
And so he's getting back to it. And, donning that 28 was nice, and he looked really good.
And I thought he wore it well.
He wore it really well, but I tell you that it's nothing like wearing number 1.
That number 1. How would you know?
I can speak to that.
Oh, okay.
Nate Kelsey, my brother in oneness, was the number 1 before me.
Right.
And I waited. I think I went to Coach Ross and I told him, I said, look, as soon as Nate graduates, I'm gonna be number 1 is my number.
Right.
And he was like, you sure you want that? Yes, that's what I want. That's the number I won high school. I don't know what it is about wearing number 1. I loved it.
Yeah.
So
you sure you didn't want like a really famous number like 33?
I wore 33. Tommy, it was real famous. The only 33 I knew was Tony Dorsett.
Big Ewing. Ewing and that was basketball.
Basketball.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you wanted to get up out of that number.
That's why I had to get out of that number. I just didn't like 33. And, 33 was good to me. It was good to me. It was a good freshman season, and had some good stuff with freshman All-American and all that stuff. But when I put the 1 on, man, it felt like the world was right again.
Well, I tell you what, brother, you wore that well. Nobody looked more intimidating. The number 1 didn't look better than on anybody else than my man sitting right here next to me, Mr. K. Solo, All-American, Force of 1, Captain America. He was the man, and you wore that number well, bro.
Yeah, I think the Lord blessed me to do some things in that number.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy because somebody forwarded me some stuff on Twitter saying that Wanye was wearing the number 1 and all that. So I reached out to him. And I was like, wear it well, young man.
Yes, sir.
All that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he responded back to me and all that good stuff. So, it was good. And then somebody today just said, well, there'll be a new Captain America on the flash. I said, wait a minute.
Hold up now. Slow your roll.
Wait a minute. Y'all going too far. But Wanye is gonna do well.
Yes, he is.
He and Charlie Thomas, I would look for them to really kind of take over, along with Trey and those guys, to really fortify that defense over there.
Absolutely,
and really do some things that we haven't seen in a while. So, and I think it's going to be an exciting brand of football to watch and see, and if it's anything like we've been sold.
Yes, sir.
Because right now, I'm all in. I've got every dollar in my pocket on the table right now.
Well, I saw a comment also from my man Quez, and Quez said that he was going to be the number 1 linebacker out there. So he just throwing it out there, a little edginess to him,
right?
And that sounds like somebody I knew that came in behind us a little time, very edgy and everything else, and was a feisty kind of guy, a little Ryan Stewart out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's the kind of fight that you want. Okay.
Yeah, you
that's
want
the kind of stuff that you want out there.
As long as he can back it up.
You got to back it up.
Yeah.
You got to back it up. Now, Big Ryan, hey, what's up, brother? I see that you on here checking us out, too. So that's awesome, man. That was great timing on your part. But what's going on? One of the 2 live stews out there.
You go.
And so, but yeah, man, we got to have a little edginess about us. We got to be a little hungry, a little fights. We got to have a little chip this year.
Yes.
Wanting to really put our hat on some people out there and start making a statement right away.
Yeah, and that's going to be it. That's going to be what what we expect to see. And I'm just looking forward to being out there, especially on the 30th.
Yeah,
seeing guys. I know Stu will be there. I know some of the other guys that we've talked to will be there.
Yeah,
so we just looking forward to all of the guys coming back and kind of galvanizing together. It's nothing like family.
Nothing like family, absolutely. And so all you guys step up. Get in there, make a call out to a couple people, make sure that they're registered, that they're coming in, that they're going to be there on March 30th. Legends of the Flats at Georgia Tech, baby, Bobby Dodd Stadium, doing our thing at the practice over there, supporting our young guys who are on the field, in the field of battle. So all of you generals, come on back and let's get out there and just start putting this plan of war together, brother, that we're about to hit and make happen in 2019. Ken, we were talking about too some of the things that I wanted to highlight on one of the players that we were looking at too. That he's a redshirt freshman coming in next year, probably be a redshirt sophomore now. But looking at Jordan Dominic, and he's a force that we saw coming out of Lakeland, Florida. Doing some things on defense because we were talking about who are going to be these next defensive linemen and in front that we're looking at stepping up.
Right.
And just want to give a shout out to him because I think that he can be a baller. So hopefully, he's thinking the same and that we're looking to see some good stuff coming out of him. That kid had an awesome dip and rip and a little swim move on people, man. And then when he had that bull rush to get that, he was always in the backfield. And the biggest thing for us guys like that is that first step. Had a very quick step coming off the ball and looking at that. So from a defensive side, that's what you want. You got to have pressure in order to do your job well in the secondary.
Exactly, and especially as long as when they're getting to the quarterback, I loved playing with Marco Coleman.
Yes,
because I knew that I didn't have to cover that long.
Yeah,
I knew that guy, it wasn't going to be somebody standing back there and patting that thing like an afro. It
right.
was it was going to be, it was going to be quick. He and Coleman Rudolph and Marlon Williams and all those guys when they ran those stunts up front, man. I love to see those things happen. So, because, you knew that it was going to be a quick out, and, most of the time the quarterback might just let the ball go in the wrong place.
Yeah,
and misses guy and hit me.
You love that.
I love that.
I love
that.
Now, that ball just seemed like it just floated up there forever, didn't it? When it just came like, when they maybe get hit and the ball just goes off.
Sometimes
and you just waiting on that sucker to come to you.
Oh, yeah.
You just like, okay, this is taking way too long. Way too long.
Yeah. It's crazy. And when you're on the defensive side of the ball and you're catching an interception, it's nothing like being a receiver and catching the ball,
right?
Because we're not expecting the ball to come to us,
right?
So most of the time when you see a defensive guy drop the ball, it's because he's not expecting it to come. He's not expecting it to come to him.
Exactly.
So you got to make. But I learned early on to make the best of every opportunity you get to catch the ball. Catch it regardless of how it gets. If it gets deflected, if it gets tipped, whatever happens,
right.
Make sure once it gets in your hands, you find the sideline or find somewhere to get to get down the field and try to score and try to turn it into points. So
talking about catching though, you excited about another guy up there from Grayson coming into our play.
Yes.
Tell us about Mr. King.
Yes, Ryan King. Nice sized guy. Kind of. We talked about it a little bit off the air. Kind of. Calvin Johnson esque kind of height, combination of height, speed, size, rangy, runs decent routes, has great hands. He's a guy that's I think that can really come to Georgia Tech. They have him listed as a 3-star athlete. I think he's more, 3.5, 4-star kind of guy.
Absolutely.
So I think that was a really good get for Georgia Tech. I think that was something that, that needed to happen kind of. He had some other schools that were out there, wanting him, and they were not little schools. They weren't Appalachian State, or they wasn't Wofford, and they wasn't
right.
They weren't other little schools. So
exactly.
They were other D1 schools that were seeking after him. So we're glad to have his services, and he's committed to Georgia Tech, and will be on the flats next season.
Well, and of course, you love to see them big, long guys.
Yeah.
Out there and making that stuff happening over there. So it's exciting also to hear some other. I'm excited, Kim, because there's a lot of these quote unquote 3-star kind of guys that we're starting to snag up a little bit,
right,
and get on their radar that are really, to me, a lot better than what they're putting out there
right.
and what they're rating. So they're gonna get a chance to really show their wares when they get over here.
Exactly.
And I think that what the coaching staff that we have, that the ability to coach them up and do the stuff that they're gonna do,
right.
We're gonna be really excited come Saturday afternoons and Thursday nights to see what that product is gonna materialize into.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be real exciting for us over there on the flats. As we get to wrapping this episode up, it's amazing how fast an hour goes.
Yeah.
The daylight savings time is definitely throwing people Look at my brothers from Lou High. Lou High in the house. What's up, Roy? How you doing, brother? Oh, y'all don't feel that like I do. That's my high school.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's my high school. And we were kind of a global brand too.
Okay.
Because we were private school kind of thing, and then we recruited internationally,
rich kids,
and then stuff like that. I had to collect my my soda cans and bottles to pay for my tuition. Shoot, when I was there, we had to pay for the tuition. There was no scholarships, okay, and all that kind of stuff. And then when we left, all of a sudden they started having scholarships. And I know my parents, of course, they would have loved that. Right. But thankfully they were able to pull it together and make it happen for me, because I really did love my high school. And shout out to all of y'all. You're talking about a family. That's a tight-knit family.
Right.
And you love all that stuff happening over there. So shout out to Lou High in Brookville, New York. And I'm loving it. And shout out to all my Tigers back there in Hempstead, Long Island, that continue to support me. But we wanted to wrap up on something.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember what we were trying to wrap up on. But it was more important for us to really kind of see some things to materialize down there at Tech that we really wanted to happen. And it started with us as the fans. The renewal of the season tickets. I wanted to let y'all know that. If you haven't renewed yet and you're a season ticket holder, tomorrow also is the last day.
Right.
Make sure you guys get that taken care of. Lock that in, please. I know some of you are riding the fence, but just believe me, go on ahead and make it happen and be part of this resurgence and that's going on back down there at Georgia Tech. But I don't know, Ken. What else did you want to talk about? I saw a guy decommit this week from Oklahoma. Okay, that's he out there, and then it came down. Before it was between Georgia Tech and Oklahoma. So we're looking at this person, a Huff kind of guy, to make some decisions maybe later on to want to come over here on the flats.
Okay,
and I believe that would be a great pickup for Georgia Tech.
I think so. I think so too. We gonna pray about it.
Yes, all of us come together and make this happen. That's right. Hold hands right now.
Hands right now. Right now.
Right now. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. We're gonna get this thing going, brother, because we need to make that stuff happen. But Ken, we had a lot of fun this week.
Oh yeah, had a lot of
fun. We gave a hard. And if you guys missed it, we talked a lot about the basketball program today. Rewind this video and restart it. Get back to the beginning. Check us out and listen to it. Let us hear. Tell us what you thought about it, because we got to get that shit right.
Yeah.
And basketball has to return back to its glory days.
You did say ship, right?
And yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We got to get this ship right. That's right. That's right.
I'm like, whoa.
If it didn't happen, then maybe we can dump it. No, I ain't gonna dump it. It's live and in charge right here on the Player's Perspective. Every now and then we can throw a little bomb out there, but we won't. We won't. It's a family show, Ken.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! But to my man Kim Jackson behind the scenes and taking care of the engineering, we thank you very much for putting this production together. And for all of our fans out there for tuning in with us, we greatly appreciate you. Continue to spread the word about A Player's Perspective. I'm Tom. He's Ken. And we love you guys and hope that you guys continue to tune in with us. We're going to have St. John Days on here, man, in the next couple of weeks coming on the show with us and checking in. So we're excited about that. And looking at having another surprise for some other people, too. Big name to come on us and check us out. Somebody that we may have played with. Back in the day and all that good stuff. But the old with the new, we're going to put it all together
there you go.
Just for you on A Player's Perspective. So anything last words?
Hey, live, laugh, love, all that good stuff. And y'all have a safe week, and we'll be ready again next week.
Continue to swarm, Yellow Jacket Nation. We love you. Have a good one. A Player's Perspective is out.
Peace.
Peace.